Johns.
What's up, Lou? All right.
Today?
Hey, Lou.
Oh, yeah?
Look at this.
Oh, really? So your doctor?
No. One last.
Wow. Then you're off the doctor?
Transfer, so Dr. Moore. Did you give me sound?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, I just don't get them out of here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you. All right.
That's a funny one. Hmm? I'm just trying to take care of myself now.
Exactly. As you should.
Do you have a loose piece of paper I could use?
Armando, can I talk to you a sec?
I'm here to see Dr. Johns.
Yeah. No, I just got something to offer you.
Do you need a clipboard?
Coming over to him up there. Go ahead.
Armando, do you need a clipboard?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What's up, man?
I ain't got it yet.
Well, do you want to talk outside real quick?
There you go.
We've got some A's tickets. I was coming over to your place.
Oh, I'm alright.
You want tonight for tonight with bar tickets.
With bar tickets? No, I'm alright.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna bring it over to.
Richard would probably want to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Richard.
I don't know who else is going to be there.
Jeremy around or Ryan.
Yeah, they're there usually during the day. I don't know if Ahura's there, but Richard definitely will. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Okay. Oh, he wants to know if one of these tickets.
How are you opening?
Yeah.
They expect you to pay it? Or just no?
Yeah.
He seems like a decent person, am I right? Or
Yeah.
who's this person?
I don't know. Another asshole.
You don't want to get out of the hospital. Go to Carolina. They said, John, you have to go to the outpatient program.
Well, they didn't tell you about the paper.
Well, they're updating my census for insurance now. See, when I went to the center, I had 14 digit number and I went to this is what you do.
What's up, man? All right.
You're not going to do documents and that.
He's expecting $5,000.
I don't know what actually.
I'll ask him about
No,
it. Maybe it was
I don't believe it. Don't go for it, John. I gotta go wait my
get us done. Sit down. $5 a piece. Get a turkey
Drums? Yeah. Morning. Thanks for coming in. All right, how are you doing?
How are you?
All right.
What's going on?
Oh, not much of anything. We're supposed to meet again. You said in 1 month. To discuss getting you to write the letter so I can be my own payee.
Okay.
So, and you wanted me to write out a budget. That's real easy. I can do that right now.
Okay, great.
Just to show you.
Thank you.
So I get $865 a month, okay?
Okay.
So, and I get basically $495 checks that I spend on food, okay?
Okay.
So, I'll work that out, and I pay $250 about per rent.
Okay.
So, I'll just add that up just to show you. So I get $10,380 annually. Okay, so
I take a look at this.
go for it. So that's about $380 a month per food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you multiply that by 12 for the annual, which would be 4,560. So far, that's just for food. Okay, and then I spend about 3,000 for rent annually.
Okay.
So you just add what I spend on food and rent, and subtract that from what I get annually, and that would pretty much, I would have that much left over for entertainment and other stuff, as according to the rules of Social Security. It's right there. So 10,380 subtracted from, or 4,460 subtracted from 10,380. So that leaves me with 5,820. It's just like a surplus just for emergency things, probably for fixing my teeth, buying clothes, food, extra food. I don't spend money on medication anymore. And that's basically, that would be my budget right there.
Wait a minute. If you get 10,000 a month.
No, that's
10,000 a
annual.
year. Okay, right.
Mhm.
Okay. You get 10,000 roughly a year.
Mm-hmm.
You spend 4,000 on food,
Mm-hmm.
and you spend 3,000 on rent.
So I added those two, so I got 7,560.
So if you take that from this,
Yes.
what does that leave you for spending money?
Oh yeah, I fucked up there. That's right. Thanks for pointing that out. So 2,320.
Okay. And what does that mean per month?
So that would be divided by 12. That leaves me about $193.33 per month
Okay.
extra.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you think about that?
For the most part, I save that, and that's why I have a bunch of money in my account right now.
About how much, roughly?
About 1,200, 1,300 right now.
Okay. In a bank account?
It's in my sub-payee account.
So pay account.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. And what's the maximum you can have in that account?
$2,000. So, and when that happens, my Social Security gets cut off, and then I have to start living off that money, and they cut it back.
So you try
And I
to-
really don't want that to happen because it takes a really long time to get it.
So you got to spend it before you get down.
Yeah, and the problem I'm having right now is that Yvette's kind of being overbearing and controlling for no reason.
Okay.
And I was put on rent probation because my Social Security got cut off for a while. So, but I fixed that. I paid back all the money I owed for rent. But she's holding that against me and not actually looking at why I was put on rent probation. And she will not talk to me about why.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it really is, I kind of need to become an MPE.
Okay. So after rent and
Mhm.
food, you have about $193 a month. How much is your cell phone?
Nothing, my stepdad pays it for me.
Okay, so you don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Do
So
you have any
I-
other monthly expenses?
None.
No. Okay. All right. Well, so I know you want to become your own payee.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want? What are your other goals?
Well, next up, what I'm doing is I'm going to get my ID, okay, and then I'm going to try to move to Vegas and get a job because I can get a job there easily. I can probably work 2 jobs
Okay.
because janitorial jobs there are really simple and easy to get. Because all it is you're walking around the floors, you're sweeping up things, you're taking out the garbage, putting liners in, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really easy job to get and maintain.
Do you have any experience with that?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
When was that?
When I worked at Arnold's Pizza, that's basically what I did. I kept the storefront clean. I had to sweep up the floors, reline the garbage cans, empty them. I had to clean the countertops, and I had to handle pizza slices, make them, and handle the cash
Where's
register.
Arnold's Pizza?
Arnold's Pizza is on Center and Shattuck about.
Oh, okay. When did you work there?
About 1998 to about 2000.
Okay, it's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So you were there about 2-3 years.
I was working there about 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Okay. And so you need an ID, like a DMV?
Yes, and I don't have enough money to do that because she's giving me $95 a week,
Okay.
and that's just to live off that for food and get other stuff. It's just not
When
possible.
was the last time you had an ID?
About a year ago, because it got stolen,
Oh, okay.
and I reported it as stolen,
Gotcha.
and I registered to vote and all that.
And how
So
much does it cost to get a new one?
about $28.
$20. Okay.
Yeah.
But you need cash to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
And you got the.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's the first step. Like
Yes.
before you leave town, you got to have an
Yeah,
ID.
yeah, and that's no problem for me.
Okay. In order to get a bank account, you're
Yeah.
going to need.
An ID, you can't do that without an ID.
Okay. What else are your other goals?
Right now I'm working on art
Cool.
on my webpage, and it's pretty successful. And I'm gonna get back into sound design and art design, and so I'm gonna kind of like keep myself alive with like a job, at a casino or wherever or something like that, which is really easy to get.
What's the job market like in Vegas now?
It's really easy. I mean, it's about like your standard of living.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have like a really overblown standard of living. But basically, like from what I experienced at MLK, just living in a room, or a motel or something like that, and working at a casino,
Yeah. And what's your time frame? Like when would you like to make that move to Vegas?
Probably within the year.
Within this calendar year?
Not this, within a year.
Within a year.
Yes.
12 months from now.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't live there.
Okay.
I live in
So I wouldn't, just be going there. Yeah.
Okay.
I would be there overseeing and assistant.
Okay. And so would you move in with your mom initially, or?
Probably temporarily.
Temporarily.
That's
Okay.
what he wants to
And
do.
is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He used to live with me, and I wish I could come back here because I think that he needs a network of people, and I believe in him. I think his relationship with the present person he has, it's caustic. They just don't get along. I'm sure she's fine,
Sure.
qualified, but from what I see, they are a very bad mix. And
Sure.
my son does not need someone to antagonize his condition.
Mhm.
There are ways we should talk to each other. And they just do not get along, is my observation this month that I've been here. I've been coming with him.
Mhm.
Um,
How long are you in town for?
as long as it takes.
Oh. In
I
order
come
to
back
get.
and forth
Okay.
all the time. So
Okay.
when he calls and says he needs assistance,
Yeah.
I come.
Okay.
It was the hardest decision to make, to leave him.
Yeah.
Yes, he wants to be independent, and I believe in him.
Mhm.
People deserve a second, third, fourth chance.
Oh, sure.
Network is important. People that believe in you, support you.
Mhm.
Luckily, I have a few siblings here that he can contact, get assistance with, minor assistance.
Mhm.
Not like me, who take him in, take him places, help him with his job search, help him
Mhm.
find a community college in Las Vegas to start building his academia life again.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here,
Okay.
is to help him.
Okay. So you think this is a good plan and the best thing for Armando?
I think Armando needs to and wants to be independent,
Yeah.
and I believe he deserves that chance.
Mhm.
My observation here in the years are there are so many other people here who are a harm to society, to sounds, and why are they independent? It's a question I have. He's not a harm to society,
Right.
but if you agitate people about anyone would fall, including myself, if I was here to get money for 2 weeks. Don't understand that people take off. When I'm at a job and I have a crisis, I cover all my paperwork before I take a leave because other people need their money, paperwork, whatever. I don't understand that. I have concern for, I have to choose my words respectfully,
Sure.
because my son's in a vicarious position
Mhm.
in this situation. And I'd like to just assist him, advocate for him,
Mhm.
and move on. We want this program to stay here because so many of our people need it. This is a great institution. but it doesn't always work for everyone all the time.
Sure.
Perhaps it's time for him to uproot and restart again, where we don't have to deal with his father here. He can start fresh. I love my son. I will do everything I can to work with you and him.
No, I think this sounds reasonable.
Okay.
I think this sounds
I
like a good idea.
have a good feeling about you. I know you care. It's in your eyes. You care about your patients. You have a passion for your job. Please assist us.
Sure.
I'll even give you my number.
Yes, please.
Call me and we can work with Armando.
Actually, so yeah, let me do that.
My
Yeah.
phone number, 702
Okay.
586-3773.
And so your full name, ma'am?
Nancy Christine Perez Garman.
Great. Okay. And would you be willing to sign a release of information, give me permission to speak with your mother about these matters? Like, I mean, if
And you two can discuss what you want him to discuss with
I would
you.
kind of like
We don't
to be there for some of them.
invade his
Okay.
privacy, because
Sure.
this is what I don't want to overstep,
Sure.
because I'm very proud of what he's doing and what he has been doing
Mhm.
in the midst of all the things that have been coming at him. Not feeding him, not getting money. And people make mistakes, but everyone should have a second.
oh, certainly. So you can specify like what things that we should talk about and which things we shouldn't talk about. Like,
Mhm.
it
I
might be
agree.
okay to talk about finances, but
Mhm.
not like other matters. Or it might be okay to talk about a transition to Vegas, but not
Yeah,
about.
but not, I don't want him to lose control of his life and his decision making, because that's an issue for him. That he feels he has no control in anything that's being, the decisions that are being made for his life are impacting him in such a way that I am concerned about him
So,
staying as whole as possible.
oh, certainly. So think about it, and like what things you would want me to talk about and not, and we'll
And you
work that
too.
out shortly.
Discuss that.
No,
Thank you so much.
Certainly. Okay. Okay. So a few questions for you. What do you think about Armando becoming his own payee? What are your...
I feel he has to do this.
Okay.
I feel he's ready.
Okay. In terms of working out a budget, managing
I
money,
think that he
paying bills.
will. I think he will, because he'll have no other recourse.
Okay.
He has to. I've seen people here that should not have any control, but they do have control.
Sure. So if or when Armando moves to Vegas, he'll stay with you temporarily. Will he be paying
Or
you
as
rent?
long, yes, he
Okay.
will be paying rent, because he needs to know
And-
that this is part of his life.
Okay. Have you
And
worked
he's
out
always
sort of how
lived
much-
with me. He always paid rent.
Sure. Have you worked out sort of how much that would be?
Yeah, yeah. It would be about 300, somewhere around that same price he's paying.
Gotcha.
And then
So his budget would be
he cooks
roughly
his own.
similar.
He's a very good cook,
Okay.
but with me, he has a very clean kitchen,
Mhm.
and he doesn't have to worry about someone spitting or taking or doing something to his food.
Sure.
And he'll have his own room, and he helps me,
Yeah.
and I help him, and my husband loves him, so we're very fortunate. And I hope he'll find.
Yeah,
happiness.
who's else is at home? Just you and
Just
your
my
husband?
husband.
Okay.
This is the kid.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what other questions or concerns do you have? Things you think are important for me to know?
I don't have any questions right now, because I'd like to talk to Ken about where we're going, because this is his life. My life is set. I'm more concerned about him being in control and in charge. I don't want him to think I'm taking over, because I could be an overwhelming mother. But I've had to learn to step back.
Sure.
This is his arena. And is Armando, are you okay with us talking?
Yeah, sure.
Any other thoughts, questions, concerns?
Not really. I'm just hoping that it'll, I don't know, I'd just like to know like a time frame or something as to when it might happen, so I can start planning and working towards it.
Okay.
Because it's just like the way it is right now, Did I show you the letter from Josefa Molina about I was supposed to be getting a different case manager and payee?
Okay.
And Yvette power tripped and she blocked me from actually doing that.
From getting payee or case manager? Or
Getting a new case manager and payee.
Okay.
And it was, I didn't flip out or anything, but it made me feel like she was trying to instigate a bad reaction from me.
Your payee right now is
Yvette
Yvette.
Katwala.
Okay.
So, and here you go. And that was, I went through this whole process, talked to Carol Patterson about this and Joe Ruffin, and they said, yeah, that it would be best for me to get a different payee.
Okay.
And then I went to see Yvette, and Yvette said, well, you know, I'm your payee. She didn't put me on another team. She didn't give me another payee.
Well, can I tell them what she said?
What? Go ahead.
Verbatim, she said, there is nobody else but me. There is nobody else for you. And I'm very concerned about this because she is, it's like she's got a prodding him psychologically. They're a bad mix. They're just simply a bad mix.
Okay.
He's not a good candidate for her. She's not a good candidate for him. There is just too much tension.
So, but there's a lot of things that I certainly don't understand in terms of what's happened and where the checks have gone and when they've arrived or what's happened. So, I mean, I can say that, I mean, times are tough here in the sense that we don't have enough
they're tough everywhere.
people to do the things. You know, I do think the plan to become your own payee, to move to Vegas, to find your own place, to get a job is a good plan. And I want to support you in that.
Okay.
I can say that, you know, I think when that happens, I suspect things will be better and less stressful, more predictable. And I think, you know,
I can go back to school also. Because
you know what?
When I hear a butt coming.
Well, I need to talk with the vet. I need to sit down with her and work out sort of how we make that transition. Because it's not something that can happen overnight. You need to become your payee. But I'm happy to write a letter to Social Security to support that from happening. Now, I suspect from my previous conversations with the vet, she's going to disagree with me on this.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately my decision.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I can
get that.
I can give you stuff. I mean, she's gonna kind of lie to you.
Well,
She's gonna lie
Well, I
to you.
think
So
she's going to pull up stuff from his past, mistakes, and that's valid. Those are concerns.
that'll take care of it.
this.
It's a lot of audio recordings of just her and Marilyn kind of trying to instigate a bad response from me, and it got to the point where they kept doing it. So I just couldn't trust them, and I couldn't go to meetings without recording them. And
So, I mean, I would. Oops.
because the next step is I have to go to, and I really don't want to do that, but I have to go to Social Security for. I went to the website and I checked out Social Security fraud, and reporting them, I would have to actually go to Sacramento and this whole process. And I just don't have the money to do it because they're in control of my money, and so it's kind of like they're just blocking me from. Okay, it would be in relevant sound recordings.
Okay. I don't know if we have speakers up there. I don't see speakers.
I think it'll.
Anyone particular?
Look at the recording time marker log, and it'll tell you everything.
So, I know that there's been some inconsistency, there may have been some antagonism, there may have been mistakes made. Now, from my perspective, I don't think that there's been a plan to make your life horrible.
I think it's more of control. I don't know what I did in front of them or what it was that I did, but I think they abused the system.
Okay.
And to kind of keep me from just like showing, other people that, they're doing wrong. And it's not like that I have an overbearing sense of justice or I think, that I'm a police officer or something like that. But it really is, I would like to have control of my life so I can move on with my life and do things.
So I can acknowledge, that you want to have control of your life. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I can acknowledge that things haven't gone as well as they should have gone.
Yeah.
I will personally say that, I have no evidence that there's fraud going on. I have no evidence that...
I do.
And I can understand your perspective different than mine.
Yeah.
I do trust Yvette. I do think she's trying to do her best. I think while mistakes have been made...
Does Yvette have a degree?
Some people are not fit.
Does she have a PhD?
Fit. And I agree with you, Dr. John.
No PhD?
Yvette, I believe, has a master's in family therapy.
That's
I
it?
think that they're not a good fit.
Okay, sure.
Bottom line.
So-
I'm sure she's very qualified, but
Does-
they are not a good match.
Does Marilyn have a PhD?
Yes, Marilyn does.
Is it psychology, humani, doctorate, or is it...
Psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, PhD in psychology.
Okay. I was just hoping it wasn't like philosophy, humani, doctorate. So that would kind of...
So there's a lot of stuff here. Is there anything in particular?
I'm just saying, if you really... that's the entire... That's like, a month, about a month to 2 months of me trying to pick stuff up and going to the Berkeley Mental Health Authority and things like that. And
Do you want me to print this out for my records, or do you want to keep this to yourself?
Audio.
That's just the log, so you don't have to listen to like the whole audio recordings.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't clip them, or
This is just a-
because if I do have to take them for Social Security fraud, it'll be in front of like a judge or something.
All right. So I can understand, like, from your perspective, you think that they're doing something regarding control,
Well,
there's fraud.
there's been discrepancies in my checks, and Marilyn told me, like a lot of these meetings, the things she actually told me she would do or could do, she didn't do on follow-ups. And then she said, well, I didn't say that. And I have her basically lying to me, and that goes against, the patient caretaker.
So it is your right to pursue allegations of fraud.
Yes.
Now, as a doc, I would not recommend you pursue that because I think it's going to be a waste of your time.
Beyond that, also though, Marianne Davis
agree.
went into my files, and I didn't sign a patient privacy release form for her to look at my file.
Well, she's part of the.
She's not on my team. She's not in Phoenix.
She's on the Phoenix team. It's been renamed. It's now Access.
When did she get on it?
She's been on for a few years now.
Really? Because they wouldn't, give me anyone else. They told me it was just Yvette.
So I think what I guess I'm perceiving is that there are some discrepancies that, from my point of view, they represent the chaos that is a community mental health clinic, and not necessarily an intent to
Harm him. However, from his perspective with his condition, this is exacerbating his condition.
Sure.
You are all qualified to know this. And in that, instead of, say, look, finding another way that's more holistic to work with people, that's a concept all of you are very well aware of. This, now, as a layperson who has no psychological degree of any kind, I would not comprehend that as easily as you can. This is just simply a bad fit between these two people.
And I get that.
And I don't think that they're necessarily, it's a conspiracy against him. However, he is feeling that it's a conspiracy.
I don't feel it's a conspiracy.
Well, you're feeling the...
I did not
that
say
they
I was
are-
feeling anything
no,
like that.
I'm not. I may not be the right word. That they are working against him instead of helping him. And I realize that all of you are burned out because it's not the normal caseload. It's like the 20th fold of caseloads. You have a lot of people. Some aren't as severe as others, so you have to weigh. And I think it's caught in catch-22.
Yeah.
And that's
And
my perspective, because I'm not living his experience. So he has become very defensive, which is his right. He's advocating for his life, his rights.
Which makes sense. And I can understand where you're coming from.
And that's my concern, why I think he needs to, one, have somebody else during the rest of this duration. So next year, when we can start implementing the plan of moving, and I think this will happen next year.
Okay.
During that transition, hopefully you'll have someone who can work with when he's supposed to go and pick up his check on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And he's told that there's a crisis going on with Marilyn, and that she couldn't do this, and now it's week 2, he's had no money. And the person at the front desk is arrogant and says, well, she has a family crisis, that's why. I find that so unprofessional.
Sure.
And the person who hasn't eaten, you're going to talk to like that. Granted, we all have personal life crises.
Sure.
When my mother was dying, I had to shift gears for my job. I had to straighten out all the paperwork from my boss to my other coworkers to the students that needed my assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So that was set in place so I could handle my personal business and my job would be intact. And when they talk to us that way, I do take concern that there is a level of indifference.
Okay.
They live a different life than I do. I'm advocating for my son. They deal with this every day, every day, every day. So you have a level of, like a defense to protect yourself so you can go home and have a normal life.
Right.
So I comprehend that. But when you're not eating and you're having a hard time, and I know they're tired of hearing me talk to them, whine to them in their perspective, I see it in their face.
Okay. So,
Juggling them.
I mean, I think the ultimate solution is to get you your own money, right? And that's going to happen, okay? It's not my decision, but I can make a letter that SSI will respect.
So I hope you can add
Well, actually,
your level.
what SSI told me was like you were the only person that could, and Marilyn said you're only the person that could, and
Right.
FET told me you're the only person that
Yeah,
could.
I mean, technically, I write the letter, but it's SSI's decision, but it will respect my decision. So I can get that process started for you, okay? And that's going to ultimately put it into all this struggle.
How long do you think that would take? Just so I can plan on how I have to live and how long I'm going to have to live that way.
Oh, a few weeks.
A few weeks?
I mean, I need to speak with the vet. I can draft a letter. I mean, that
Okay.
won't take too long. Ideally, when would you like to become your payee and move? Are those?
I would like to become my hopefully not move within the next month. I would like to become my own payee within the next month so I can set up a bank account, a PO box, possibly get, maybe if I can find a good enough service, internet access from my house, which would help me find temporary work or just freelance artwork or something, you know.
1 second.
No problem.
Jeff Jones. No, is he here? Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so I would like to become your own payee, say within the next month. Ideally, when would you like to make the move to Vegas?
As soon as my stepdad and mom are ready.
Okay, which is
And-
roughly
In the new year.
in the new year. So not till like January, February,
Yeah.
like the earliest. Okay, so we still got a few months.
Mhm.
So basically, I think this is all going to get worked out. It will take some time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't promise you that we can have someone other than a vet replace for paid. I can ask, but it's ultimately not my decision.
Well, if I have to go talk to Josefa Molina about like what she actually meant by the letter.
Okay.
Because from what I can tell, Yvette kind of doesn't know some of the rules also
Okay.
about Social Security.
Okay.
And she's really obsessed with receipts. And that's not something that's really necessary.
Okay.
Because a lot of the people that lived with me at MLK House, they have a real problem with some of them. I don't know who gives them information about how I get my money or what's going on, but like Richard, he'll make fun of me on the steps about that I didn't get my money and that I don't have groceries and things like that, and then he'll berate me and kind of harass me, and that's frustrating, that someone will do that, and it's like I'm not gonna, it feels really like they're trying to evoke a bad response. So maybe they could call mobile crisis or something like that, and that's not happening this time,
And I bore witness to this. When I first talked to him on the phone, I thought, okay, it's his condition.
Mm-hmm.
But when I witnessed it at the window, This is not a lie.
Mhm.
This is two people who operate differently, and I know she's tired of him.
Mhm.
It's written all over her face. And I am concerned for his well-being because he's the one who will be locked up if he flashes. Not her. Her life will continue on the way it should, but his life should not be so...
I don't think I'll be locked up.
You shouldn't go without food when you have money in an account.
Right. Okay. So I agree. We're about out of time.
No problem.
Let's schedule time for you to come back.
Oh, okay.
When would you like to come back?
Well, let's say about 2 weeks.
Okay. And what? I'm here on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
Let's try for a Wednesday.
Okay. So Wednesdays I'm here in the morning.
Okay.
What time? I got 8:30, 9:30, 10, 10:30.
10:30 is best because I like to walk around for a bit before.
Okay. So it'll be October 6th, Wednesday.
October 6th, Wednesday, okay?
Okay. So I will speak with Yvette by then. I will draft a letter.
Just mainly also, you could tell her, I haven't really done anything, irresponsible that would make her want to do that. And I've tried to talk with her about that, and every time it just goes down to, you need to give me receipts, and, that's really what's happening, So, but yeah,
Okay.
also that, I might ask for a hearing, not a fair state hearing, there's a different type of hearing, where, I get to argue my case in front of, I don't know what it is, but I'll probably talk with you about it later.
What are you trying to get from that?
Just to show exactly that it's not my fault, that,
So I don't think that's going to be very fruitful. You're welcome to pursue it. I think ultimately the solution is for you to get your own money.
Yeah.
So if you want to pursue it, knock yourself out.
Well, there's certain things,
Your interest.
well, my teeth are so horrible right now, and she denied me money that would have helped me get health care. Okay, and that's one of the things about an argument for becoming my own pay. So if I don't get it one way, I can get it the other way. And it is kind of, that was one of the big issues I went through. I went through not eating for about 2.5 weeks, and I did something really dumb. I ate a lot of food, after I didn't eat for about 2.5 weeks. And it caused some minor internal bleeding, which kind of sucked. Like a bloody stool.
Have you seen someone?
Oh no, that's just what happens. I looked up on the internet, and if you don't eat for about 2.5 weeks, you're...
Can I ask
So that
about
can happen, but it's probably worth going to see one of your
Yeah.
doctors.
Does he have medical coverage here?
We
Is
don't.
there a service that is in conjunction with this? I don't know how this works because I
Who
agree
have
it
you
needs
seen
to
in
be
the past,
seen.
Armando?
I really haven't seen anyone in the past. I just never could hook it up. It was horrible. Like every time, it just wouldn't happen.
Okay. We usually refer folks to Berkeley Primary Care.
Okay.
Have you seen them?
I haven't been there in a while. I also tried to get my tooth. I had to go to the emergency room to get my tooth removed, and that wouldn't happen. And right now, on a semi-regular basis, when I eat, it hurts very bad and it bleeds a lot. And generally, all my food tastes like, rotting blood in my mouth kind of
Have
tastes.
you been to Lifelong Dental?
The whole thing is there's no Medicare D anymore.
Oh, there's no?
There's no. They don't accept. Well, California cut dental benefits from Medi-Cal.
Yeah.
Lifelong is
On Alcatraz.
yes.
But it's I haven't been able to.
Still seen folks. So on sort of a occasional, as needed basis, who don't have other dental benefits. So it's still worth going. I mean, there and Highland are the only two options really.
Has Highland or because I just need a
Oh yeah,
tooth,
this is bad.
tooth
This
pulled.
is very
That's
close,
all.
Mom. I can show you where it is. On
Okay.
Alcatraz.
Okay.
I can't promise you what they can do for you, but I would recommend
Investigate.
investigating it. And
Okay.
if they can't help you, they may know of other options.
Because it's getting bad, and I have to take penicillin right now to fight off the infection.
So there's Berkeley Primary Care, it's right behind all the debates.
Okay.
There's a phone number and address on the right.
Thank you.
And then there's the dental care as well. Get those checked out.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
See you again.
Okay.
No, thank you. For all that you can do. And just listen.
I'm going to return that to the front.
Got everything?
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Dr. Jones. That little hobbit that came out of the door,
Yes.
that's Marianne Davis. She's in her room.
Oh, who around the floor?
Later.
Thank you.
Where to, son?
Oh. Hey, man. You doing all right? Hello.
Hey, Homer.
Staying in Vegas.
I read that they got a brand new tutor
You guys can. You can leave me there. Just as long as you get me.
The economy is, I do not want to tell this man, the economy is the highest unemployment rate in the country in Vegas. However, that doesn't mean that you can't find your way here. You may love it here.
I can do so much stuff. People don't understand that.
Well, I think you can, and I
You just don't acknowledge
I
it's.
did not want to talk too much, but I think you have so much to say, and that your mind is different. You know, so you're trying to tell us so much.
Well, it's like they won't just let me take some tests or do something. It's like they really just. You don't want to let them go.
No, they don't.
And it's. And if I have to run, you know.
You're not going to have to do that long. You're going to get advocate and be patient. And I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Why do you go?
Because it's just horrible to have to live this way.
But I'm glad I'm here to bear witness.
Well, there's a major change happening in Berkeley. Because you have the feds are over in Oakland right now cleaning up the police and city care workers and things like that. And it's like they're just moving this way. It's like an advancing army. And so, because, you know, murder and, you know, breaking and entering and stuff like that, it's all tied into like people that are working for the city. It's like this bizarre ass.
Sweetie, did you get your money?
I did, but it's like it doesn't last me.
That's one of the things that you're going to have to work on.
Really.
Yes.
I have enough money. I have enough money, and it's getting stupid. Just having to talk with people about these things.
You know what, Mondo? I get $500 a month.
Really?
Yeah. And I said that means I have $380 left.
I know, but you also don't have
I buy
to.
the groceries with that money, Mondo.
The crazy thing about my
And
life.
the only reason why I can do it is because I don't have a rent.
Yeah.
If I had a rent, I wouldn't be able to survive.
I have rent and so much other stuff. You know, they didn't really.
But your living situation is sad, but it's not as bad as this place.
Yeah.
This place here is the crux of your problem. And somehow I think, and this may be my own level of paranoia, is that it's tied to your father.
It's not tied to my father.
Well, it's like it's all okay. That's what these people see instead. You know, people can't agree that we're really not qualified to have. They don't like what they do. And that's what I perceive from them. Not Dr. Brown, who's still young and has hope in his eyes. But Yvette is a woman that seems to have a lot of location. Am I wrong?
If I really told you, a lot of these people are probably from Sunnyvale. And the standards of living in Sunnyvale are so extremely low. Like how much people have to pay for rent.
I don't know.
For yeah, really. I mean, if you'd let me finish sometimes, it's about $2,000 to $3,000 for a one bedroom, and you're sharing a bathroom with a bunch of people, and it's just not decent living, you know. And so people have these really fucked up, I don't know, grudges from having to live that way. And so a lot of them will do stuff like they'll live in cars and live semi-homeless and like semi-criminal. And also work in Silicon Valley, you know, at jobs and corporations and stuff. And they go other places. And they have that same dumbass, you know, Silicon Valley, like racist, classist, sexist, you know, thing. And it's just, I've had to deal with these people before. And they're just pirates, you know? I know it's a lot to ask them. Do you think you could?
I saved my 20 for you, okay? Don't blame me.
Not playing. Okay. Okay. Well, you said you're going to stay down.
I know. I was telling him that because I got to fake the phone and play the bluff.
I hear you.
Because if you don't say this, if you don't have someone, you know, it's like when I go to the doctor with you, or I remember
Oh, it wasn't a needle or they were putting air into me. I just didn't trust the situation. They put me.
So then we come back in and I'm right behind you, and the minute she sees me, she just changes.
The thing that happened at Alta Bates was they put me on a table and put a restraining thing around my belt loop, and just they put me in the room and they turned the lights off, and they were just fucking with me. It was just like there was no reason for it. No one talked to me. No one was like, "How are you feeling? What's going on?" They put me in a room and they turned the lights off, and nobody was looking or watching or seeing what I was doing. So it was just like, oh man. Do you have to use the bathroom or anything?
I do, honey. How did you know?
You could tell.
Love me, Lisa.
No, really.
Don't lie to me. Give me that look.
Not really, because they're gonna lie.
They are going to lie, and I'm glad to hear.
So I'm gonna have to take it to Sacramento, and thank God the conservatives still there.
How are you? All right. When you get a chance, you want to put the cans by the door.
Oh, I sure will.
All right.
No problem. Oh, it's kind of weird. But that's his door. That's what we're talking about.